Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives Podcast, Weekend Poppin'. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by Strong Stem Steve Cabot and N-Dub's favorite son, the Dreamboat, Tommy Romeo. Strong Stem, how we doing, my man?
Oh, we out here living life, watching Phillies probably let me down. And he's surviving.
Glad to hear. Thomas, how are you, sir?
Good, man. It's hump day, you know? Everybody always likes to get over the hump, so come on.
Yeah,
you're halfway home.
Amen.
That is true. Every day is hump day for a good-looking guy like you, pal. Let me tell you.
You fuck.
You gotta find something to hump on first.
Amen,
Hell yeah.
brother. Amen. Story of my life. So you can find all our content and all our stuff on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can have us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast and join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, then email us at workperspectives@gmail.com. All right, let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
All right. So, we had this week, I'll tell you what, and I think we talked about it last week, Steve, is that we had Sean Days back to back, right? And that's some of our best stuff we've done, right? And topping that was tough. But this week's episode was pretty fucking good. And it's because Chris Wertan could give two fucks about anything. And it was great. What'd you think?
I agree. Chris, so obviously Chris graduated with me, same age as me. His brother, who was 1 year older than us, was on the wrestling team. Good friend of mine too.
Yeah.
And so I know the family. Their older brother is awesome too, right?
Yeah.
But it was funny to Chris is one of the most people call me unique. He's a super unique guy, just very different. And it's funny that we had him on this episode because just Friday night we went and watched and supported our buddy Kevin with North Penn football team. Watched the game, right? Yeah. So the coaches go out after it and shit like that. So we decided to go stop at an establishment to have a drink or two. Sure. And there's Chris with Mo, and they had a fantastic situation going on, which I'm not going to get into, but it was funny. So I just seen Chris recently. Chris is cool as shit.
Yeah, man. Nice. So Thomas, I love that dude. I'll tell you what, I've been having a time with Chris or two myself. He's a great dude. Thomas, did you get a chance to listen to the episode, and what'd you think?
Yeah, I did, man. Chris is a cool dude, man. I actually went to school with Chris's younger sister. So never really knew him until I was a little bit older. But as soon as I did meet him, kind of tailing off of what you said, Matt, pretty much a character and doesn't give no fucks, I think you said.
Nope.
But the part where he kicked the pizza guy, that was pretty cool to me, man. I had many run-ins with pizza men over the years, but I never had the balls to do what I wanted to do, which was get physical with them. So,
amen, brother. Amen. I mean, so he was working at like a Domino's. You worked at a pizza joint. Would you ever kick the manager of your pizza joint in the nuts or no?
Nah, I would have loved.
He worked at. Thomas was at an Italian joint with real Italians. Like, you don't kick nobody in the nuts.
Yeah, you weren't getting away with that at your place. Nah. At Domino's with Johnny Stunad, you can kick whoever the fuck in the nuts.
Agreed.
So nice. And I want to hear. So 2 weeks ago, we aired the series of the Sean Day episodes back to back. And Tom, I know that you're an N-Dub legend as well. So Sean Day as well. What did you think about his episodes?
Oh man, just for me it was amazing to listen to. Just kind of knowing him even before all that stuff. But man, just the stuff he's been through, the different stories he has, man. And, it's stuff that not a lot of people have ever done and ever will. So it's pretty cool to hear those stories, man. We can, bullshit about our stupid drinking stories all day long, but they don't really scratch the surface of those, man.
Hell no.
Amen, brother. You ain't kidding. That's it.
And Thomas has some unique experiences. Obviously, his older brother was like, a brother to me too. So like me and Jay would go down to Sean's, and Thomas would come with us because, like when we were that young, like you got to stick with your brothers. You know what I mean? There's no babysitter. You got to stick with your family. Yeah. So he was like, he would go down to Sean's and play video games with us and shit, like the old Nintendo and whatnot. And so Thomas knows Sean since we were little kids.
I fell in love with Double Dragons, the Battle Double Dragon. Game. And I first played at Sean Day's house, and then I went just Double Dragon by myself and fell in love with it. But it's my earliest video game memory.
Dude, tough not to fall in love with that game. It's one of the classics. Speaking of video games, coming up soon, Saturday, October 2nd, is the live event where I beat Captain Jerkbeard in Mario Kart and win back the rights to the show. So all you listeners, 8 p.m., October 2nd, Graham's Pub, be there to watch the epic event, the once in a lifetime, the creme de la creme, the end of it all, the era revealing, show stealing Mario Kart challenge for the Working Perspectives podcast, the rights to the show. All right. So I'll tell you what, so I'm a younger brother as well. And when you had the role with your older brother and like the older kids, you would go, but you're also like, you're kind of like, like you're sussing stuff out. You know what I mean? Because it could turn on you real quick.
In a heartbeat.
you could be getting pink bellied or something in a heartbeat. You know what I mean?
I'm a little brother too. So all three of us know how it goes.
Yeah. Those older brothers, sometimes they can be
motherfuckers.
Usually the butt of a lot of jokes, and sometimes those end up physical sometimes.
Like if you're hanging out with your older brothers, you're just like, all right, I'm going to be the fucking punchline for everything coming up. You know
and it was funny too, because like I said, like for me, my older brother's buddies, my brother being a lot older than me, his older buddies would show up. Again, I'm an asshole, so I'm always talking shit. But these guys would beat the dog shit out of me like it was a sport. Yeah. Like they used to come over and be like, they wouldn't be like, hey, Tony, what's up? Like, what are we doing today? They'd come over and be like, yo, Tony, where's your little dumbass brother? There he is. It's open season. I'm like, fuck, yo.
Yeah. It was, no fun. What are you going to do? But either way, nice. So let's keep it moving. So I want to talk about this. So we showed on the show last week, some Captain Jerkbeard, son of a bitch, came on the show and fired the Prince of Party, the party boy, Pete McCormick, right? Now, we have a couple pre-recorded episodes of Pete that are still allowed to air. And I think we have one more pre-recorded with him left prior to him being fired. But prior to him being fired, he had to skip a couple of the Tuesday shows, and we had a fill-in who will end up being his permanent fill-in because he's now fired. It's Justin Richardson, a.k.a. J-Dub, right? So J-Dub, good friend of both you guys, is going to be debuting on the Tuesday show next week when we have Mike Vasconez on the show, who is a he's a life coach, right? So it's a fantastic episode because Mike he was a Marine. He was in Afghanistan. He was a machine gunner on the back of an MATV, right? And he had an MMA fight. He fought he was at Henzo's. He fought with under Rich. Right. He had an MMA fight, he's like a blue belt or something in jiu-jitsu. He was a boxing instructor at the gym for a little while. Really cool dude. But now he's a life coach, and he's also like a shaman to take people on an experience while on ayahuasca. Right.
No way. What's he go to Peru and lead people on
He didn't give us the exacts. He didn't give us the exacts. He wasn't willing to give up that. He told us what it's like, but he didn't tell us anything about his connects or anything like that. I don't know if it's Brazil or Peru or something like that, but he's done it a few times, and he says it's changed his life and let him down the path he's on, and he's doing a great job. And he owns his own business, and his wife hopefully will be on the show one day. Runs her own business where she connects with animals and is able to communicate with animals. Right. And they do post videos on Instagram, and I'm not going to lie, it fucking looks like she's talking to these fucking animals. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Like sounds like she did the ayahuasca, not him.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
They both jumped on some ayahuasca together, brother.
Yeah.
You
Here's
know,
the thing.
That's how it works.
Tell her I got a fucking Chiweenie, the most evil wiener dog on earth. Now, for you people laughing at me, I also have a 135-pound Rottweiler.
Wait. A Chiweenie is a Chihuahua and a weenie dog combined?
A Dachshund. Yes. But it has the exact same colors as a Rottweiler, the tan and brown. And my brother also has a Doberman. So we have a theme. And my dad always had Rottweilers at the shop. So we have a Rottweiler, a Doberman, and then this little piece of shit that's the meanest fucking thing I've ever met, right? I love the dog, but it's the meanest fucking dog on earth.
Does a little piece of shit run the other two dogs?
Oh my God. She'll bite a kid too. This bitch don't care. And listen, like I said, I'm used to raising big dogs. We've had Rottweilers my whole life, Dobermans. I'm used to it, right? This thing I thought would just, and usually dogs, when you have an older dog, it learns from the younger dog. The best thing to have around, forget a trainer, forget everybody else, forget fucking Cesar Millan. If you have a good older dog, it will teach that younger dog how to like act, right?
Yeah.
So I figured this little piece of shit would like figure it out. Oh no, this thing, so my nieces call it the mean Cheween, because this motherfucker will bite anything that comes near it, and she ain't afraid of shit. So if your boy's girl wants a challenge, tell her, let me know. I got the mean Cheween on deck.
Yeah, dude, Mean Cheween sounds like one of your fucking end-up nicknames that you guys give to each other.
I can vouch for that. The Mean Cheween's a soldier, man. We did like a backcountry hike once, like up this mountain. It's called Devil's Hill. And Mean Cheween made it all the way up there, man.
No assistance. And her legs are this high off the ground.
Along the creek water, jumping on boulders, man. The Mean Cheween's the real deal.
Going up like 70-degree grades on like mountains, and then little Cheween went right up with us. And that was like a fucking Thomas? We went like fucking 6 miles.
Yeah, that was a hike, man.
So Mean Cheween is a female dog, right? And
her name's Little Nicky, after Little Nicky Scarfo from Philly, the old mob boss, who was the meanest human ever, but very tiny, right? And then my older dog Bruno is named after Angelo Bruno for being the docile Don, who was the boss in the 80s, and he's the exact personality of him. He's like the easiest going, most doesn't give a shit about nothing dog. And the little one is, to put it politely, she's fucking terrorist. They're fucking terrorists.
But so she's a female, but then Bruno's a male dog, right?
And my brother's Doberman's a male dog also.
Are they fixed?
Yeah.
Because if they, dude, so Kevin Smith, I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's a writer-director.
He's
Silent
Bob.
For
what was it called? Mallrats?
Yeah, he's done. Yeah, Mallrats, Clerks, Chasing Amy, like all that stuff.
Clerks was the best.
Clerks was so good. But he's Silent Bob. But he told a story where he had like a fucking little dog like that, like a Dachshund or something,
little devil dog.
And he also had like a big, huge fucking dog as well. And he didn't get the big, huge dog fixed, which was a male. And then the Dachshund was a female, right? And he tells the story of like when they would leave the house, they would have to like lock the Dachshund away and keep the other dog, because the other dog would just all he wanted was to get that ass. And apparently he ripped through a door and he got that ass. And fucking dude, the way he describes the fucking dog afterwards,
I don't know why you're laughing. It sounds awful. It sounds like a murder scene.
It was. Oh God, it's brutal. But either way,
let's move on. Jesus Christ.
Moving along.
So that's next week. You said you have J-Dub starting with you.
J-Dub will be his first appearance on the Tuesday show. Yeah. Eventually. So the way we got it going, I have him for a couple weeks in a row. And then Pete comes back to do Diana's episode. And then we have Justin on as the guest. So it's me, Pete, and Justin. And then it's me and Justin again we recorded an episode last night that fucking, honestly, man, it almost brought us to tears. It was so fucking it was a lot, but it was really good. Yeah, it was an awesome show.
Was it about the big dog fucking the little dog?
That's every show. Not just
a lot.
Yeah. But
now speaking, I have a request for you next week, because I'm not going to be there. When you talk to the Dr. Doolittle girl, ask her how she. No, I'm serious, because I recently had an encounter talking to bears. Me and my brother were out in Yosemite. We did a backcountry hike one night, and we slept out. And we were encountered by bears, and we had to leave. and we talk to them and the bears listen. So the rangers kind of hype you up. They tell you get real big and say, get the F away, bear, get the F away. And it did, Matt. So we saw the bear about 30 yards out.
And you were like, back the fuck off.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah. You know, there's a little emphasis on the F word.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, honestly. Ask that girl. You know, talking to
and then Thomas, didn't you tell? What were you saying? Like when you guys were walking back? Because remember, Matt, this is way off the beaten path. They made their own trail, right?
Yeah, you're in like where you could get lost.
No man's land. Yes. So when he's walking back,
we're about 4.5. Yeah, we're about 4.5 miles out there. We had climbed up a creek. And our campsite we had set up before that, knowing it was going to get dark. We didn't want to set our campsite up after.
Smart.
Yeah, drank a little whiskey and had some fun. Right? So here we are after our hike. You know, we got our camp set up. We got the whiskey. I got a nice blueberry bar that just smells like something a bear would love, as well as some beef jerky straight from the mountains. Right.
Yeah.
So basically, sounds like a bear's meal.
Yeah. He's like, who ordered the 5-course meal here?
Hell yeah.
Well, it's about to get dark out, which is the time bears come out, right? They're nocturnal. So boom, here comes a bear. My brother says, hey, be quiet. I think some people are walking up. We don't want to give away our campsite. So we try to be quiet. Well, it wasn't a person. It was Big Grizzly just staring at us. So once we locked eyes with him, he stopped dead in his tracks about 25 or 30 yards off. My brother, who was starting to make the fire, was about 20 feet in front of me, had backed up, and they tell you, the park rangers tell you, if you encounter a bear, you know, you don't want to turn around and run because it's going to kind of take that as you're submissive. You're supposed to back up while you're still looking at it. So he backed up right up to me, and we stood there for about 15 seconds, which I'll tell you what, man, felt like damn 5 minutes.
Dude,
I
just locked up with the bear, and all of a sudden my brother goes, we got to get big and yell. So we get big and we yell, bear, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And sure enough, the bear fucking runs. It worked. I couldn't believe it.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I would fucking legit shit my fucking pants. How big was this fucking thing?
Weren't you saying, Thomas, on the walk back, like Jay was clapping and you were like whistling and shit or something like that?
Matt, he was about a solid $150. So he had actually seen a bear earlier, and he was way bigger than the previous bear that we saw. So here we go. About 8 o'clock at night, just about to get dark out. And we'd just seen a bear, and we have our campsite that we're supposed to sleep at all night. So I told my brother immediately, I said, no way, no how. We're not sleeping here. You know, not just because, you know, the bear now knows where we are. I'm not going to be able to sleep now. Like,
hell yeah. True.
Well, forget this. I told him we're packing up our camp immediately and getting out of there. So we did. Right before dark, we packed up. We had to still hike about 4.5 miles out of the woods, though. And it's just getting dark, right? So now it gets dark. And we still have about 4 miles hike. We only hiked about half a mile before it got dark. Yeah. And on the right side, coming down are all these mountains that really look like bear caves. And then there's the valley that we're walking on. On the left side, there's actually a dried up river because it's drought season right now. Yep. So the whole time I'm looking up to the right, and all we has little headlamps on. I'm looking up to the right, just looking for some bear activity. Now I had my bear box under my arm that all our food was in, that the park rangers want you to put all your food in so it doesn't smell. Well, it smelled and the bear smelled it. So that's why he came. But, so I felt like I was a damn piece of bait just running, right? I felt like I was on a fishing line just running.
Bro.
And,
did you have any weapons or anything?
Yep, I had a blade about the size of my pointer finger on my one hip, and my brother had the same thing, and we were ready to.
You're fucking gonna fucking shiv the fuck out of that fucking bear.
So this whole 4 mile hike, this whole 4 mile hike back, I can't move my hands because I'm holding stuff, and I'm going, get away, bears, get the fuck away from us, and my brother's clapping.
The whole walk.
30 seconds, you hear, get the fuck away, bears, and clapping for a 4 mile walk. Yeah, in the pitch dark back, man.
Bro, dude, if you fucking when you're walking back, like people also
and we saw 2 more bears while we were walking back in that first 20 minutes while it was still a little bit late.
Oh, dude, if you guys would have stayed,
you bear sightings in about a half an hour when they told us there's only been 8 bear sightings this whole month. Here we are. So,
bro, if you guys would have stayed, they would have fucking if you would have slept there, 3 bears in that vicinity. Fucking forget it. You guys
they were black bears. Black bears are the most peaceful bears, supposedly. So, you know, I'm thankful for that. But a bear's a bear, man.
Yeah. That's like saying the Navy SEALs are like the shitty one of the SEAL team is he's the shitty one of their team. Yeah, he's still way better than everybody fucking else. It's a goddamn bear.
So my request for you, Matt, is to ask the girl that talks to animals a little bit about, hey, you ever encounter a bear? What do they tell you to tell bears? Because my buddy just stood big and
said, back the fuck off.
But it makes sense. They're not used to that stuff, right? They live in the woods. They're not used to people yelling, lights shining and shit.
I just shot a double leg on that bear.
Oh, dude, I don't fucking know what I would have done. I would have been like,
I know what I would have done. I would have shit my pants.
But yeah, that's the first thing I'm doing. Pants. Shitting my pants. Yeah,
like,
hey, bear, Yogi, whoa. But
Bear's dude, like, that smells good. I'm like, damn, what the fuck?
God damn it, bro. Dude, but fucking, so when you're like, people don't realize too, right? And I've been in the woods at night as well. People don't realize it's so fucking dark, when you're in the woods at night because of the brush and the the overhang or whatever fuck.
Canopy.
It is fucking pitch black. So you guys are walking through the pitch black with the shits on your helmet. And like, if you're not talking and you hear like a twig break in the distance or something, are you like fucking like, fuck this?
That's what I was gonna say. Your senses are just heightened. You're aware.
Oh yeah.
Heightened. So you hear anything, you see anything, you swear it's worst case scenario. You know.
Yep.
Dude, I'm like
Spidey sense full active at that point.
Yo, you're like heading back to the ranger station, like, motherfucker, give me a gun right now.
All of a sudden, I look like my Rottweiler. Anytime like you make any type of food, his nose is immediately in the air snipping shit. Yeah, they're sniffing for anything that smells unorthodox.
Fuck. Did you guys get your camera phones out at all or anything?
Yeah, I'm texting you a picture, Matt. But yeah, so as cool as this was, I had the time to say, I got to get a picture of the bear.
Yeah.
So here comes this, and it's in real. You can see how far it is from me on my phone. It's, it's about 25, 30
I will say this, too. I will say this. On the phone, like in person, they look a lot closer than the phone. Always.
Of course.
So you'll really tell how close it is then.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, that's they were out there too with the fires, which is crazy because I remember him and his brother saying they were about to go out. And remember, fucking California's a burn pit at this point, an open burn pit. So they're now going into like the fires were everywhere, so it's a drought. There's no water. It's fucking nuts out there right now.
Yeah, you know what? So when we were out there, like Steve was just saying, since we came back there the last 2 weeks, the biggest tree in the world. I'm not sure if you guys know the name of it's General Sherman. It's in danger of being burnt by the California wildfires. So they, not just that tree, but a lot of houses they saved in trees. They actually just put like this different type of aluminum foil, it looks like, around houses and trees. And believe it or not, saves it from the burning a lot.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, man.
It's the same.
Over these California wildfires, there's a lot of houses that are standing that were wrapped in foil and other ones around them weren't. It's crazy.
It's like the same. It's the same shit they put on like spaceships and shit. That's super high temp. Like from when they come back in through like the burn through and shit. Yeah, that shit.
Dude, what the fuck is with these wildfires? Because it's every fucking summer now that it's wildfires. Like, dude, when I lived in California, there was a drought, but there wasn't no fucking fires. Like, dude, what the fuck is going on here? Right?
Yep.
Like,
I feel like it's just, the way the world and the climate's going overall. You got global warming, shit's changing, man. We got tornadoes out.
Listen to me.
Listen
to me. I'm blaming it on China because that's what we do nowadays. I'm just going to blame it on China. China's fault.
So not only was this a big fucking bear, but it looked like it was a hungry fucking bear as well. Like this thing.
He's got some girth to him.
Yeah, he ain't fucking around. Dude,
could you imagine? He's no more than 30 yards from us.
Could you imagine the size of their fucking paw, right? It could shatter your fucking skull with one hit.
Fuck the paw. It's the giant claws on the end of them that are razors.
Bro.
I mean, everyone's seen, what is it, the Remnant or whatever, that bear scene? That shit was bonkers.
Revenant, yeah.
Yeah. That shit was wild.
Yeah, with Leo. Yeah. Dude, that was fucking nuts. Dude, when it's attacking him, fucking, hey.
About the beginning of 300. I I don't know if that's a bear, but there's that little kid in a cave and he's backing up.
Wolf.
You see the shadow of his spear on the wall.
Yep.
Dude.
And then he just.
Dude, that's a dope scene.
Hold on. Thomas, let's rewind this a little bit. I just want to talk about this because holy fucking shit, man. All right. So your brother, also known as RoboCop, is that right, Steve? So
that's right.
The Dreamboat and RoboCop head out to Yosemite National Park, right? And
with two other fellas, but they weren't with him during that escapade. But he went out with two guys that Jay works with in the financial industry and stuff like that. So there was four total.
Went out there. His coworker's a big rock climber. So he wanted to go out to the mecca of rock climbing in the U.S. and climb El Capitan. Well, not climb El Capitan.
Yeah, El Capitan.
Parts of different walls out there.
Bro, I would fucking love, dude. Rock climbing, I would love to get into fucking rock climbing. That shit's the fucking best, man.
Oh yeah, you just gotta love it, man. Those guys that do that, they live it, man. It's not just rock climbing. They live it, they eat it, they breathe it.
They love, dude. I'll tell you what. It's funny you mentioned rock climbing because the guy we have on the show next week, Mike Vasconez, he was really good at jiu-jitsu, and one of the things that was his strengths was he had a fucking grip that was like iron. Right? Like as soon as he got a hold of you, his fucking grip was so strong. He didn't lift or anything, but he loved rock climbing, and he had been rock climbing since he was like a kid. Right?
Tell him if he wants to have a grip off with sup. My best attribute, obviously, this is where it came from, was working on cars my whole life. So you're constantly squeezing.
Sure,
dog.
Steve,
so whenever we used to go to those stupid fucking tests before wrestling started. And they would test your stretching ability. They had the pressure gauge for a grip. I would fuck that John up all the time.
Right. Is that the same year you yanked off your stem? Right.
No, I always had broads do that. Cuz what are we talking about here? Like I pull broads. What are we talking?
Okay,
like,
that's the forearm exercises that you're doing. Yeah.
Is one forearm a tad bigger than the left? Look, God put me that way. I didn't develop.
Yeah.
All right.
No. Yeah. That has nothing.
That's my excuse. Yeah. I agree. Hell yeah.
So, okay. So hold on. So you and two buddies, you head out to Yosemite, fucking looking for Uncle Sam, right? So the two dudes that you were with, they're like, hey, we're heading to the rock climbing.
El Capitan.
Okay. So they're going to like a legit fucking rock climb. And you and Jay are like, hey, we're just going to go fucking stay away from the bears. Right. So
yeah, we're going to go hike. We're going to go get into cool shit, climb cool scenery.
Yeah.
Walk through the cool lake and hopefully see some wildlife.
Dude, and fucking nature, like when you're in, like when we go to like a park near us, right? It's nice. It is what it is, but that ain't fucking nature, right? Okay. I don't think I've ever been in an area, maybe, I don't know if it's accidentally, but I don't think I've ever been in an area where there isn't another human or another dwelling, like a dwelling within like a mile of me, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, Steve, I don't know about you, but like, Tom, you were legit in an area where there wasn't another human dwelling, probably, like, depending if there was another camper or whatever, but like you weren't within another human dwelling for miles. You weren't in a major road for miles, right? Like you were in legit fucking wilderness. Honestly, that's got to be like one of the coolest things ever. I would fucking love to.
And remember, this is a national park, and the whole reason it was a national park was in the 1920s, the fucking U.S. president, who loved being an outdoorsman, went out there to hike. The second he hiked out there, immediately went, they will never develop this. I'm making it a national park. What was it? Was it Teddy Roosevelt?
I believe you're right.
Yeah, that was like, he was the one. He was like, no. I only been here once. No one's ever going to build on this. It's a national park.
Yeah. I think you're 100% right. I know too. He was like Roosevelt was big
outdoorsman,
but he was a huge outdoorsman, loved like safaris and stuff. But he also was like, this is how fucking cool he is, right? Roosevelt. He started like obviously like one of the richest families ever. They own property in New York, like Manhattan. They own like all the property, right? So he grows up super rich family, goes to Harvard. He was on like the boxing team and was like
the rowing team.
Yeah. But he was always like fighting and aggressive. And then eventually he's like, I'm sick of all this money shit, moved out to like North Dakota and wanted to be a cowboy and lived out there for years as like a cowboy, like off of, like a roughneck,
super hard life. Hard life.
He wanted that. He left like, the highest possible way of living that there was at the time to go out there and come back. And then he noted, I guess he saw the parks and he liked it. Fucking good on him. That's what a fucking man does. Fucking shout out Teddy Rose.
There's a legendary sign out there that kind of tells you, John Muir, if you know, Matt, he's kind of the guy that, not really just, I'd say discovered Yosemite. He actually wrote a book, and there's actually something called the John Muir Trail from the Yosemite Valley, which is where most of the campers stay when you go. It's about a 250-mile trail that he blazed all himself. You can walk it. Yeah, it's about 280 miles. And it goes all the way down to the Redwood Forest down in the Sequoias.
What?
Yep. So there's a John Muir Trail that takes you to Yosemite Valley down to the Redwood Forest, the Sequoias.
Dude,
Sequoia
that's
National
so
Park.
fucking awesome.
Amazing.
Dude, I'll tell you, like, did you see any of the redwoods or sequoias when you were out there?
We saw a couple redwoods, but no, I did not go to the actual Sequoia area. Because it was a far drive down there.
Yeah, that you're going way up. Yeah.
I went there.
The kid that went with us, he actually went there before. He was there a day before. And he said he was just
unreal.
Unbelievable.
Dude, I remember, so I was a kid when we lived there. I guess I was like 7 when we moved here. And I remember I remember being on, like, we're driving on a road and the road's on like a hillside, like a mountainside, right? And we're driving down the hill and we're probably like, say if we're on the mountainside, it's probably like 100 something yards or whatever, like down to the ground floor. And the trees are like still, you're riding and like the trees that are on the ground are above you. And that's the redwoods. They're so fucking big. And then the sequoias. So redwoods are like tall and kind of like, they're not thin, but the sequoias, dude, the road that we were on went through a sequoia.
Yes.
That's how fucking big they are.
I went through that same tree. I'm with my aunt. I was like fucking 16 at the time, but I remember being out there and I'm like, this shit is wild.
The name of that. Yeah, that's a famous landmark.
Yeah, you drive through the fucking sequoia, which is ridiculous. And forever I kept calling it a redwood. And people were like, you sure it's not a sequoia? I'm like, look, fucker, I was out there. It was a redwood. They're like, all right, this kid's semi-retarded, but whatever.
Yeah. So, yeah,
triple the lifetime, man, to kind of sum it up. I've been to a lot of different islands, been to Jamaica, the Dominican, all that good stuff. I would much rather be out in the wilderness, walking around with not much people around versus sitting on a beach, drinking a drink for 5-6 days.
How dare you, Thomas? You're talking about a Spanish woman Mecca. What you just said to me sounds like fucking heaven. I've been to Dominican too, and I will never leave if I go back.
Dude, how, so the air there, everything like crisp,
beautiful.
How fucking awesome is it? Is it like
amazing?
I just loved it, man. It's just the way the land is, at least on the East Coast, is totally different.
Mountains are so big out there.
Seeing as you're driving, like you're talking, Matt, seeing a lot of these trees, just seeing thousands and thousands and thousands of acres burnt from the burnt trees and some of the fires. So all you see no vegetation. You just see tree trunks, and half of them are charred, half of them are black. But I have a couple pictures of them. It looks crazy.
Looks like something out of a nightmare. That's wild.
Yeah,
like fucking different, like a different planet with all that.
We also did a half dome. You know what a half dome is, Matt? One of the more famous.
When a girl sucks you off before you finish.
Yeah, I know that. But yeah.
So half dome is probably the other famous rock out there, other than El Capitan. But it looks awesome. It's called half dome because it was made by the glaciers. It was literally a half a dome, then it's a 90-degree drop. So how was that made, right? Years and thousands of
cut
years
through
ago.
it, right?
But long story short,
it was made by a glacier that was resting up against there that eventually would melt.
Yeah, it comes down and cuts through.
No fucking shit. And it's exactly at 90 degrees.
Yeah, that's how the whole valley was made. Well, it's probably not exact 90. You might have an 89.5. I don't know if anyone got the protractor out and
right. But it looks sharp enough that it's like
So people climb it, Matt, because it's that flat of a wall face. People climb it. That's the other famous wall other than El Capitan, is the face of Half Dome. So we actually did a hike that takes you up higher than Half Dome. Longest hike I ever did in my life at once. So I think it was 15.5 miles, but it takes you to 11,500 feet elevation. So you're actually, and it's called Clouds Rest because clouds rest at about 10,000 feet elevation.
Yep.
Wow.
So it was amazing, man. Just being up there and,
dude,
and looking eye to eye with Half Dome at about 11,000 feet of elevation, man.
Fucking A, man.
And they say, the higher elevation, I didn't really feel the heat, the heavier breathing and stuff like that in my lungs. I really didn't. Yeah. Maybe that's for Mile High Stadium. I don't know, but
or from Wildberry Games, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking dude, that's incredible, man. I'm happy you had a great time. That's a great experience. That's something I would love to do one day. I would love to do it like on horseback as well. You know what I mean? I would love to do like a horseback ride and go like 50 miles or whatever it is, and travel through like the country and something. I like that sounds to me.
Yeah,
like
they have
just
stables
the
out
fucking
there.
best.
You can rent horses. We met 2 older ladies on horses that lived and grew up in Yosemite Valley. You know, I wish I'd still be there talking to them about stories that they have, man. Those
I'm sure you
Hell
would,
yeah.
you rhino hunter, you.
Yeah, well, chill out over there. You're saying you're happy you had a good time. I'm happy him and his fucking brother didn't get eaten by goddamn 3 little bears.
Bro.
Not like Goldilocks out there, you know?
Dude,
right? Jesus Christ.
You
Where's the porridge at, pussy?
Yeah. Could you imagine, like, if you guys pass and Steve gives a eulogy at your guys' funeral? It's like, these motherfuckers, they were fucking camping. Like? These fucking students.
I could just see Mr. Romeo with his hand on his head going like this. Like, who the fuck let Steve up here for these 2 guys? What the fuck?
And he's like, God, why is this one forearm so much bigger than the other? That's incredible.
Yeah, calm down. Mr. Romeo, G, he know.
Yeah, he knows. Everybody knows. So
he knows.
I did want to say this. So when you were talking about little Nicky Scarfo, I found this out, and I can't say how because they don't want us to say how. But I am a distant relative to, I think it's Blinky Palermo. Name ring a bell?
Sounds like a gangster.
He is. He was a Philadelphia.
A lot of Palermos, but not Blinky. I know a lot of the Philly gangsters because obviously my ex, her dad grew up in that era and went to school with all them motherfuckers. That before it was Newman Goretti, it was just St. John Newman's. They all went there. They all got married at St. Monica's at 17th and Rittner. So that church is like, you go into that church. Now, a little contradictory, right? You go in there and I see like Scarfo. I see Testa that paid for the pews. These are fucking bosses of mob families. The place is absolutely gorgeous. It's a Catholic church, but it's paid for in blood money. But whatever. It's really nice. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, sure. Why wouldn't you? So I think it's Blinky. I'll have to double check. I'm pretty sure. But either way, he was entangled in the boxing commission. And if you've ever seen the movie Raging Bull, there's a scene where Jake LaMotta, played by Robert De Niro, throws a fight against Billy Fox.
Yeah.
Blinky Palermo is the one that threw that made him throw the fight. He was the mobster.
You mean paid him off?
Correct. Yeah. So yeah. So apparently I'm related to him. So who fucking knew, right?
Well, here's the problem. I'm gonna call bullshit because you're whiter than fucking Elmer's glue. So
yeah, I didn't know I was Italian until this last year. Thought I was German and Irish my whole life.
I would have said Swedish, but I hear you.
I mean, I'm Swedish with black hair. I don't think there's any Swedes with black hair.
I don't know. I only look at the broads. I don't pay attention to the dudes.
Yeah, well, don't we all? The Swedes are batting 1,000 when it comes to the whoas.
Oh my God! When you say 100, you mean 100 plus 10.
Oh baby, yeah, man.
And they got the good genes because every one of them's like 6'1" and shit.
Yeah.
They're all Vikings and shit.
Yeah, basically flawless. So let's keep it moving. We're getting close to the top of time here. Strong Stem got a record. Before we do anything, you fucking Dansbury fucking trasher you. All right, you fucking Dansbury fucking trasher.
Again, I gotta give credit where credit is due, and this motherfucker Thomas is the one who told me about it, and I watched it. I knew you would love it.
So you guys
fucking wing nut.
Talk about it already.
No. We haven't. Let's talk about it.
We haven't talked about it, Thomas.
He told me about it last week, and I watched it. I think I've watched it twice.
Amazing.
I fucking love the song. The best at being bad, right?
Yeah, that song is so good. It's awesome.
Could have been anything.
The best part
could have been anything I wanted to be.
The best part of the whole fucking show to me was when the first time they play the first game, and Wingnut, who's my favorite, he goes and he has that Canadian accent, and he's like, I look up and I see Jimmy, and he goes like this and holds a cell phone. So I pick it up and I say, hello, and he says, drop your gloves immediately and fight the first person you see. And he goes, fuck yeah, who's gonna fucking get it, coach? Send somebody out so I can fuck them up. Yeah. And he goes, I look over, and this poor guy randomly looks at him and says, hey, fuck you. And he was like, fuck yeah, he's gonna fucking get it.
I fucking loved it.
The dog shit out of that guy.
Yeah, I fucking loved it. I love too how they have the two super fans, like the one that was in the wheelchair and stuff.
Oh,
I thought
they're
that
the
was
best.
fucking great.
The
I thought they
best.
were awesome.
She was ready to commit
The
suicide.
female, she plays hockey. She's a
Yeah,
goalie.
Yeah, in a wheelchair.
And dude says he's getting buried in his Danbury Trashers jersey.
Yeah. Bro,
And,
like
man, that was one of the most unique, not like greatest, but one of the most unique sports
Unique
stories
is a
I've
great
ever
word.
seen.
yeah.
And
I
imagine
agree.
being that kid, man. When you first see the documentary, I'm sure we can relate to that kid a little,
Yeah.
but like, when you first see it, you're like, oh man, who's this kid? Like he's a little, but
Kid looked like he was
I
straight
love
out of
that.
N-Dub.
AJ
in the
was
fucking
the
late
man.
90s.
AJ
You
was
realize,
the man by the end.
I
of that.
agree. I agree. He won you over in it. AJ is a good.
Yeah.
The other one too is when they for people that know Mike Rupp, who was a famous player in the NHL. When
Played
he's
for
like
the Devils, yeah.
and won on his
Stanley
shot
Cup.
beat the Anaheim Mighty Ducks on his goal won the Stanley Cup. You're the guy in Game 6 that your goal wins it. So he's
Yeah.
a legend in Jersey.
Yeah.
And they get him there, and obviously he goes, they tell me how much they're going to pay me, and I'm like, holy shit, really? I was like, okay. And he's like, then my agent's like, yeah, Jimmy Galante wants to pay you up front. He's like, not like game checks, just up front. He goes, yeah. He goes, and in cash. And he looks at him. He's like,
In duffel bags.
in like duffel bags. And the agent's like, yes. He goes, right there. I looked around like, what? Where the fuck am I at? Like, what fucking movie am I in?
Dude, I'll tell you what, Jimmy Galante, it's spelled,
man.
I did ask Nick if he was related. He says he doesn't know.
It's a
Never
super common name, Galante.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
dude, Jimmy's the fucking man, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I love, dude, and the equipment manager guy who is
Tommy
like
Porcello.
fucking T-Bone, right?
Yeah,
when they were like, when he
That
was
guy's
like,
fucking nuts.
but dude, he was AJ's middle school hockey coach, and they were like,
And gym teacher.
and he was like, so wait, you were fucking checking 12-year-old kids into the boards as a grown-ass man? And his response was, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Ah!
yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Dude, fuck yeah.
Yeah. How about at the end too, where Mike Rupp, he's like, everything I did in my career, scored a game-winning goal in the Stanley Cup for the New Jersey Devils. But when I'm in Connecticut, people say you played for the Danbury Trashers.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
I also liked how the father didn't tell AJ that he had bought the team and was going to name him the manager. He went to the school. Teachers are looking at him. Students are looking at him. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
Dude,
that was awesome.
The way that the equipment manager would fuck with the away team was like
Hide
no
the
hot
goalie's
water,
pads.
No hot water.
Yeah,
He
no
said he'd give
fucking
him
towels.
He would give him 4 towels that were as thin as toilet paper for the whole team.
Yeah.
I actually think my favorite part of it, for some reason, obviously the opening, what Steve was going over, where he tells him, as soon as the puck drops, drop your gloves, Greg. That was amazing. But
Awesome.
I know when AJ went over just making the squad.
Yeah.
The brothers he had the Danbury legend. He had One Eye Willie out there.
One Eye
He had
Willie.
the Nigerian Nightmare out
Yeah,
there.
the Nigerian.
Dude, he got wingnut out of fucking lockup, right?
Because he beat the fuck out of
He didn't even know he
5
played hockey.
correctional officers.
T-Bone told him
They
this
showed
guy
him.
beat up 6 COs straight out of jail. He goes, I want him on the team. Doesn't even know he can play hockey.
Yeah. Dude, but and he ends up being like everyone's favorite, right?
By far.
When he gets when he gives that
Payback.
So also the
best part you're about to say, my favorite part.
So the dude gets his fucking leg broken, right? And he's laid up, and the mob boss
In a
comes
hospital.
to him. Yeah, in the hospital, the mob boss comes up to him and is like, "Hey, we got the dude's address that broke your leg. What do you want to do?" Right? And he's like laughing it off, and the guy's like, "This is fucking serious." It
was even more direct. He comes in at first and he kind of comforts Wingnut by saying, "Buddy, we're gonna take care of you. Don't worry about bills. Like I got this covered." And then because they didn't have health insurance and shit, it's a fucking a semi-pro team.
Everything.
And then he goes,
cash.
and here's this. He lays the address on him and goes, all serious. Goes, he says, what do you want me to do with this? And Wingnut was like, and then they cut into the equipment manager, and the equipment manager was like, poor Wingnut thought he was joking. He goes, he didn't realize how serious Jimmy was. And then Wingnut looks into the camera like, hey, dipshit that I beat the fuck out of. I hope you're watching this. And if you are, just realized I saved your life.
Yeah,
Like, you're lucky I didn't tell Jimmy to get rid of that guy.
Yeah. What did he say? He's like, "You're lucky I kept it on the fucking ice."
Yes, that's exactly what he said.
They would have fucking killed the guy.
Oh my god.
Well, you got to think like it was a cheap fucking move the way he broke his leg, right? And like the guy's got kids and a family. Like, come the fuck on.
And dude, it was epic when he came back. How about there was a sign too, right under the scoreboard that it said, "I'll be back."
I'll be back. His number.
Dude, this all happened within one season too.
I can't believe it was only one season. Crazy.
Yeah.
And they were damn good too, man. They were the best team in the league.
I
they played in the championship.
They didn't.
And like you said, the big thing too, the credit to AJ was that AJ was remember he did all, like he said, he did all this in an era where there wasn't like the real internet. There wasn't social media. He was like, so I'm literally the only thing I had was fucking Google and like magazines to try to figure out who players were, and how to build a team. NHL. He said that's right. On PlayStation is how he knew who players were.
Yeah,
crazy,
dude. Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, you're exactly right. But the one thing they do kind of like sleep over is they talk about winning the Colonial Cup, because if they say like win the Colonial Cup, everything's forgiven, which would be true. And honestly, you find out at the end that they
lost in the chip.
Yeah, they lost in the championship, but you also find out that they had the commissioner in their back pocket the whole time.
Yes.
The commissioner's talking all this shit saying, "Oh, I'm going to be hard on them." Fucking at the end, you find out he doesn't rat on Jimmy.
He's a faggot, though, that little fucking commissioner. But I will say this, like you said, at the end, he goes, in the beginning, he's all hard ass. And at the end, this is where I respected him. He went,
Section
look,
102.
He said, all these people are fucking crying and yelling about how they're making a fucking spectacle of it. He goes, but I'll be honest, I've never had more eyes on this sport in our fucking league than ever before. So what am I going to do? He's like, they're bringing eyes to it. They're bringing revenue. They're bringing money. Like, we want
10,000 people to show up for a UHL game. Come on.
I didn't even know what the fucking UHL was until I watched this documentary.
No one did. It's fucking, it's caliber.
Perfect too, man. The year the NHL gets locked out.
The lockout, like the stars just aligned for that to happen.
And of course, you come to find out at the end. And one of the questions I had was, would all of those players been accepted and played had they not been given an extra duffel bag 2 or 3 or 4?
Right.
They all wanted to come.
Playing field wasn't level, which is,
But they all wanted to come back, though. So
because Jimmy, like I said, Jimmy made it like a mob. It was a family. It was a family. He was like, we took care of each other. And like they did say, though, they go, every single one of them go, when Jimmy told us how much he would pay us for the year, we looked at him and went, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And he was like, do I look like I'm a joker? They were like, yeah, I'll play for you then. Hell yeah, I'll play.
I love, too, how they were like the one wingnut's like, yeah, I would get my Trashers check. Then I was also part of this company and this company.
Every
this
check
company.
was a different one.
Yeah, it was all these. He's on all these no-show gimmicks. And I love, like, dude, the one of the brothers was like, he was like, I was in the locker room. I had scored a game-winning goal. Jimmy comes in, throws $10,000 cash down right in front of me.
So awesome.
And they're just like, let's go to the fucking bar. Yeah. What a fucking dude.
Amazing, right? Amazing.
No. Dude, they were all fucking doing lines and fucking dude. If you saw Wingnut, he was fucking yoked. So he was on the
there's that
gas.
picture of him with his shirt off in the penalty box.
Yes.
Yoked. How about Jimmy punches the one ref too? Periods. Glocks the one ref.
The dickhead equipment manager was the only equipment manager in the history of the fucking league to get suspended.
But even like Jimmy did that like in defense of his player. You know what I mean? Like no other owner would do that. And Wingnut had been in the game for so long. He's like, for an owner to punch a ref for a player, unheard of. And he's like, it meant a lot. You know what I mean?
And and they show Jimmy all the time. Jimmy's like, you never tell a man to do something you wouldn't do yourself, and you treat him like a man, and that's how you gain the respect. They fucking loved that.
Loved him.
Yep.
Dude, they had the reunion with Wingnut and Jimmy at the end. Like,
Wingnut teared up. Wingnut was fucking crying.
It was awesome.
How they showed up at Section 102's party 15 years later, unannounced. That's fucking amazing.
That's so good. Yeah, dude. What
crazy?
For anyone that hasn't seen it, it's part of the Untold documentary series on Netflix. So it's Untold Crimes and Penalties. It's really good. There's another really good one. It's Untold Malice in the Palace, which is about...
we both watched it.
Yeah, which is about the brawl with the Indiana Pacers and the Detroit Pistons, where Ron Artest and Steven Jackson go in the stands. I'll tell you this, Malice in the Palace, Steven Jackson is the fucking man. All right.
He's my favorite player ever after that.
Dude,
that dude was like,
that.
he's just happy to ride with his buddies.
Fucking
and he's like,
man.
I don't give a fuck what happened. I'm happy. And then when he went to the judge was the best because all the other guys like kind of plea dealed and got their sentences reduced. He went in there and was like, no, I rode for my family and I'd do it the fuck again. And the judge was like, oh, okay, you keep your penalty, you dumbass.
He's like, I wasn't kissing anyone's ass. Fuck
Nope.
I was proud of what I did, which he should have been.
Straight
G. Man. Even though our test was a nut.
I remember watching that Malice at the Palace live.
Yep.
I'll never forget it, man. Watching it live. But yeah, the piece they did on it was very good. Kind of gives a different perspective from the player's perspective.
Yeah.
The one thing that pissed me off though is the guy that threw the bottle. What a fucking pussy. When they ask him in the thing, they're like, didn't you feel a little bad that like he thought it was somebody else? He was like, I was just happy the guy didn't hit me.
Yeah.
You fucking twat.
He's a total douche. Plus, two, how stupid is that fucking 5'5" guy going up against Ron Artest and then
squaring up
and Jermaine O'Neal just fucking dude? I'll tell you this.
He's so lucky Jermaine slipped.
Yeah, Reggie Miller said it best. If he fucking doesn't slip, he
decapitates him. He decapitates him.
Kills that guy.
Yes.
That guy got in trouble for that.
He should. He's a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, he went to assault and you can't be just assaulting people.
You're a 5'5" chubby ass Spanish bull, and you think you're gonna take on a 6'10", 260-pound super athlete?
I did.
Good luck.
I did love how the president of the NBA, Stern, right?
Yeah.
When he was like, they were like, he's like, yeah, Ron Artest done for the year. And the one reporter's like, is that a unanimous decision? He's like, yeah, 1-0, me.
Yeah.
Gangster.
Yeah. I was like, this fucking guy. But dude, you feel like, I'll tell you what, they were a good fucking team. And it does.
They would have won that year. They were so loaded. And it was, you feel bad for Reggie, because that would have been Reggie's like the final.
Looking back on it, man, they were loaded, man.
Yeah.
Oh, so
dude,
good.
Like, I remember I had this discussion one time, and I forget where I was. But we talked about the best players in the NBA to never win a championship. And like Karl Malone's up there, AI's up there, right? Reggie's up there, Charles Barkley's up there.
Yep.
There's a ton of great guys that never won a championship. And it's like you feel for them. But I don't know. I guess because Reggie had some, dude. Another great documentary.
I actually
Reggie.
did not like Reggie during his playing years because we're all Sixers fans. He was kind of a killer, but looking back, man, how can you not respect the shit out of the guy?
Exactly.
Out there just gunning stuff, talking trash.
How about his sister being a legend? When he used to go to games, they would chant Cheryl at him because his sister was like one of the greatest female players to ever live.
Dude, did you see the winning
from her?
Yeah. Did you see the Winning Time documentary, the 30 for 30, Reggie versus the Knicks?
Sure did.
So fucking good. And he even says, he's like, his sister was like 5 inches taller than him till he was 15. So his fadeaway had to be fucking money.
Because she used to murk him in the parking lot, in the driveway.
Could you imagine spending your entire life getting fucking the piss beat out of you by your sister? Like, oh no. Yeah, but what are you going to do?
What are you gonna do? Sports you love.
Yeah. So, all right, boys, I'll tell you what. This has just been a fucking banger of a show. Before we get out of here, Strong Stem, anything you want to say to your legions of adoring fans? Also, I know you heard it on the show, on the Chris show. I had said, and I'm sure you heard it because you listened to it and you love the show, is that I can only air a certain amount of Cabot, because if I air too much Cabot, then eventually there'll be something called the cult of Cabot that would just generate from all the Cabot that's out there. Because too much Cabot, you create the cult of Cabot, and then where the fuck is the world then with the cult of Cabot?
I feel like that cult would just be a giant lynch mob coming for my neck for all the ridiculous dumb shit I say.
Or it'd be the opposite. You just
a bunch of rhinos chasing me down. I'm with it. What up?
Yeah,
I'll wrangle them down.
Yeah. Or it'd be you and the cult of Cabot marching on Washington. So all right, so you got anything you want to say to your to the cult of Cabot before we get out of here?
Yes, keep the stem strong.
Keeping your stem strong is available with our sponsor Blue Chew. Go to bluechew.com
and listen, there's only one way to get better at the game, and it's with practice.
Yeah. Yep. Best way to practice
Now
your
listen.
A game is
Now
playing
listen.
the game.
I'm gonna throw this in there real quick too for all these broads out here that they always go, they're always, oh my god, he sucked, or this person couldn't make me climax. Right? Here's the fucking issue. It's an uneven playing field. When you guys pleasure yourself, right? They use a fucking stick that has 12 speeds, 14 different knobs, goes this way, that way, up, down, left, right, does a circle, right? What do dudes do? Spit in your shitty ass hand so that by the time we reach a girl, it's 1,000 times better.
Steve, wait, you're saying that your penis doesn't vibrate and gyrate like everyone else's?
My hands don't vibrate and gyrate and do circles. That's for goddamn sure.
Right. Yeah.
Stop using such sophisticated equipment, all right? Back it down over there, fucking honey.
Jeez, Steve, I mean, if you're
a little too much.
If you're having those issues, then you should reach out to our sponsor, Blue Chew. That's Blue Chew. You can go to bluechew.com and order discreetly today for your first package.
Now
use
listen,
the promo code Working P5.
If I need to hammer tent pegs into concrete slab, I'll hit them up. Until then, I'll be all right.
Dude. Bro, have you ever done like a
dick pill? Yeah, cousin. I thought I was gonna die.
That was like, I almost felt bad for the person I was with.
I hear you.
I hear you. Would you buy one at the gas station on the way over?
I had a buddy at the gym. He was like recently divorced, and he had told me, he's like, dude, I got a fucking script for 150 Cialis. And he's like, here, take one. And I was like, all right. So I remember I broke it in half, and I took a half, and I was like, and it was like, dude, bro, I couldn't stand up for fucking 10 hours, babe.
Dog. I took one, like my buddy went, we were at school. It was like his last year of college up in Scranton, right? I take one, but because I was already had this broad lined up.
You need it in Scranton.
The only problem was she was fucking trying to have fun before that, like go out and shit. I took it a little early. I was like, oh no, like I didn't know what to do with it. I had to tuck it up, and
were you wearing sweatpants out again? Was that the mistake? Yeah, probably.
I'm pretty sure I'm always in sweatpants, so whatever.
Hey man, that's not a bad life living in sweatpants. I'll tell you that.
Goddamn right. I'm a hidden fat kid. You know this.
Amen, brother. So, young Dreamboat, aka Thomas, aka Tommy Drips, aka the Romantic Romeo, aka Sensual Thomas, aka Tommy Does It Right,
aka Thomas Ramirez.
What do I got? AKA sayonara, motherfucker. See you tomorrow. Thanks for having me on.
Hey man, thanks for coming on. Love to have you back on whenever you want, pal. Always happy to have young Thomas the Dreamboat on the show.
But anybody that has not, again, to reiterate, watched that Dansbury Trashers. I don't sit down in front of a TV often for 90 straight minutes. That was well worth it.
Amen.
Hell
fucking man. Fucking dude. the best at the end when the equipment guy's like, he did his fucking time like a man. He did his time like a trasher.
And how funny is it that fucking dickhead, child beating fucking dickhead went from like some asshole in the middle of Dansbury, Connecticut, who wasn't shit. Then he gets linked up with a mob boss that's worth $100 million. By the end of that documentary, he's sitting there with a gold chain and a big ass cigar in his mouth. Like, my guy, he didn't say a word. He's not a rat. I'm like, oh, all of a sudden he's fucking John Gotti.
Yeah, someone had a bunch of fun with the cocaine after Jimmy went to jail. Yeah. So
Jimmy, where'd you leave that?
Yeah. So, all right, nice. Well, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast, Weekend Poppin'. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by Strong Sam, Steve Cabot, and Tommy Romeo. You can find all our content and all our stuff on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can join us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast and follow us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, then email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. Also, we like doing this. We want to keep doing it, and we don't need any money. We just need you to hit the fucking subscribe button. All right? If you
don't listen to Matt, send money.
Well,
lots of it.
If you want to do that, that's fine. But we don't need that. We need fucking, if you hit subscribers, then we can start getting paid for this shit. So please just fucking hit it so my wife will get off my fucking ass about doing this show. All right? Just hit the fucking subscribe. All right. This is the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Have a good weekend. Thanks. See ya. Bye. October 2nd, 8 p.m. Join us at Graham's Pub at 8919 Ridge Avenue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to witness the live event of the year. It's Old Uncle Matty against Captain Jerkbeard, aka Tom Lavelle, and they'll be squaring off in a Mario Kart challenge, and the winner of the show gets the rights to the Working Perspectives podcast.